This episode of Sledgehammer TV is brought to you by BarkBox. High-quality toys and healthy, delicious treats for your dog delivered to your door every single month. Scan the QR code on the screen right now or check the link in the description below for more details. Hey-o, and what's up, gang? Thank you for checking out Sledgehammer TV tonight. Thank you for joining us for this very special episode where we are right now tuned in to AEW Rampage. We don't give two shits about the card at all. We are all sitting here waiting for the highly anticipated, highly rumored debut of CM Punk, and I am ready for that to be a reality. I got my CM Punk gear on. I got the CM Punk alert on call. I got my finger on the button because as soon as I see it or feel it or hear it, you will know immediately, as Rampage is going off right now, and it is happening. Ladies and gentlemen, the roof has blown off the United Center. I'm clicking wrong buttons because we're live. CM Punk is all elite. I'm sorry I can't show you guys what's going on because of copyrights and all that, but holy shit, it is a reality. He is on his knees, the best in the world. Back in professional wrestling, what some people said was impossible. The chant is deafening. It is almost drowning out the cult of personality. This is historic. This is unbelievable, and I want to thank you all for being here with me for this extremely special moment in the world of professional wrestling. I got goosebumps on my goosebumps. My chest is beating about 1,000 miles an hour. Holy shit. He has returned. I don't know what this truly means going forward. Fuck SmackDown right now. Fuck WWE right now. Right? Who else is feeling this way with me? Don't forget to sound off. The chat room is live. Super chats are open. The comment section is open as well down below. We will get to SmackDown in due time, but we don't need to talk about that right now. I hope you're all watching along at home. If you're not, get to your TVs, put on TNT, and bask in the glory that is the return of the Second City Saint, the straight edge superstar, CM Punk. Think of the possibilities, you guys. CM Punk versus Dean Ambrose. CM Punk versus Eddie Kingston. CM Punk versus literally anybody in the Elite. Kenny Omega. Daniel Bryan is coming. We can have a proper Punk versus Bryan feud. He hasn't said a word. They don't have to do a match at all right now. This is going to be the biggest thing that has happened in all of pro wrestling this year. And to think just 2 years ago, he was going to the WWE. They put him on that stupid SmackDown talk show. He promised to change the culture. And 2 years later, he has made good on his promise. For those of you just joining us, CM Punk has returned to professional wrestling. He is in the United Center. It is the first dance AEW Rampage. Tony Khan has pulled it off. I have to say I'm surprised. I really am surprised. I didn't think this was going to be a reality. I didn't want to believe it until I saw it. And here we sit, all of us together. We are watching it happen right now. I'm glad they started the show with this. But I feel bad for everybody that's got to go on after this. Oh my God, thank you for this commercial break. Oh my God, thank you so much, guys, once again for joining us live here on Sledgehammer TV. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat as we continue. I can't stress how important this is, to me especially. CM Punk was my guy during his time in the WWE, as many of you guys will probably say the exact same thing. There are so many CM Punk fans out there, and hasn't even said a word yet, but there's already just a feeling that you get. It's almost reminiscent of when you seen Hulk Hogan drop the leg on Randy Savage back in WCW. It's just got an electricity to it. There's a shift going on right now, and you would be foolish not to believe that this is going to be huge for AEW. I have no reason to believe he's not going to be able to go in the ring. The guy looks in fantastic shape, and he's going to have some of the best talent in the world at his disposal to work with. I see most of you guys. Yeah, I agree, man. At least they didn't make us wait, Mr. Mike. We're only just beginning here. We got a lot to come at us, and it's a lot to digest right now. But I need to hear what he has to say. We're coming back live at the United Center. Let's see what he has to say. Let's go back to the main screen. Set off the Punk alert once again. Let's do it. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is so exciting. This is so exciting. Sound off, brothers. Let me know, and sisters. Let me know what's going on in your head. Light up that chat room. We got a lot to talk about. I hope you can kind of hear it. Hopefully I don't get in trouble for a little bit of low audio.
On what I was going to say, because I didn't know what to say. Because I didn't know how I was going to feel, but I knew that I needed to feel it.
He's got tears in his eyes. We feel you, Punk. This is an unbelievable moment. I knew he heard us.
There's good news and bad news. The bad news is we're not going to get to it all right here, right now. But the good news is I got the time. Wednesday, Friday, 4 Sundays or Saturdays a year. I got the time and I ain't going anywhere.
Nice. Looks like AEW television is back on the table, you guys.
Wait 1 second. Possibly for me, the most important thing I'm going to say right now, and this is for everybody at home, this is for everybody who
This is for all of us. Let's listen closely.
If at all through my journey, any of my personal choices or decisions related to my life made you feel disappointed or let down, let me just say, I understand. If you all try to understand that I was never going to get healthy, physically, mentally, spiritually, or emotionally, staying in the same place that got me sick in the first place.
Got a point. If your job's making you sick, you gotta go. And why would you ever want to go back there?
Can I tell you guys a story?
Yes.
It's hot in here. Hang on 1 second.
Uh-oh. New merch. Oh, of course.
Can I tell you a story?
This is amazing. I'm getting that shirt too, GQ. Oh no. He is sitting in the middle of the ring. He's going to tell us a fun little story. Let's listen.
I want to, but I knew I couldn't stay. And that was when I used to work for a place called Ring of Honor. August 13th, 2005 was my last match in Ring of Honor.
Can you guys hear this? Somebody let me know if you can hear it.
And walking out here today, I now know why I was crying. And it was a lot of reasons, but what it boiled down to was I had made a place where people could come work, get paid, learn their craft, and love professional wrestling.
She's sadly missed in the WWE nowadays.
I knew I was leaving a place that I love, and it was a home, and I knew where I was going. It wasn't going to be easy for a guy like me, because I'm one of you. So I look at it like this.
This is great.
August 13th, 2005, I left professional wrestling. August 20th, 2021.
I love it. I love the implication.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm back for me too, but I'm back because there's a hell of a lot of young talent that I wish I was surrounded by 10 years ago. So in saying that, I sit back and I say, well, hell, they're there now, so why don't you? Here I am. Because I want to work with that young talent that had the same passion that I had stamped out. I'm
Yeah.
back. because there's a couple of scores to settle in that locker room.
Uh-oh. I'm freezing. There we go.
Darby.
It's calling out Darby Allin. This is fantastic. And of course, my stream would give me a problem. Here we go. If this happened during the rest of the show, I could care less. But of course, happening now during the one part I need to hear and need to see. Unbelievable. Well, let me know what you guys are thinking. What do you think CM Punk is really going to make a difference? I certainly do. He's already got me more interested in AEW than I've been since it's began in the first place. Let's see if we can get this thing restarted. My Verizon just crashed. Verizon sucks, by the way. We're not sponsored by them. We are sponsored by BarkBox, in case you missed it at the beginning. You can check out the link in the description below. Here we go, back to TNT for some more CM Punk. CM Punk just challenged Darby Allin for All Out. That's awesome.
So on your way out of the United Center tonight, grab yourself a free ice cream bar on me.
And he just gave out ice cream bars to the entire crowd. CM Punk, welcome back to pro wrestling, bro. Again, business is about to pick up. It's right. Thank you, JR. Darby Allin is in the crow's nest with Sting, looking down at CM Punk. His first opponent for AEW coming at us at All Out. What can you even say right now besides holy shit? Holy shit. And the crowd singing along as they should. Darby Allin looks great tonight. Some really cool makeup going on. I'd love to see CM Punk versus Sting. That's a dream match we never thought would have ever been able to be pulled off. AEW can do that. Oh my god, they do have ice cream bars. Taz is chomping down on an actual ice cream bar. I guess people are really getting ice cream bars there. Good for you, fans in Chicago. It'll keep you cool in this disgusting heat, which is making me sweat like a stuffed pig here in New York City, where it's humid as all hell. I feel like I'm in Satan's butthole right now, but it's worth it. All the lights shining, sitting here with you guys, experiencing this moment live on YouTube. Thank you, CM Punk, for coming back. It's going to be some good stuff. Up next on Rampage, we got Private Party, my good friends and fellow House of Glory brothers, taking on the Jurassic Express in the Eliminator Tournament semifinal. And I could really care less. No disrespect to anybody, but I'm hyped. I'm hyped that CM Punk is here. This is fantastic. I'm super excited. Let's shift gears now and talk about tonight's episode of SmackDown because we might as well get the bad shit out of the way since we were together for such a historic moment. We're already deep into this review, so let's get this started. Oh, wow. SmackDown was really bad. Really bad. And there is no way that SmackDown or the WWE could generate the amount of emotion and feeling and goosebumps that I just felt during the open of AEW Rampage. They proved that tonight with another go-home show that proves that the only thing that they know about go-home shows is that they apparently don't really mean much of anything. There was a couple of interesting moments on this night, but this was a episode of SmackDown that was nothing but rematch after rematch after rematch. So of course we got to pull up the dreaded rematch alert, and you can apply this to almost every single match on the card. And also you can apply it to the main event segment, the go-home segment for the Universal Championship match, which was a face-to-face between John Cena and Roman Reigns, which is exactly how SmackDown ended last week. And with the exception of what Edge and Seth Rollins did tonight, Edge hearkening back to his deeper, darker side, drenching Seth Rollins in blood. Seth Rollins came out dressed in an all-white suit, calling out Edge, and then Edge dumped him with a bloodbath. The Brood's music played, kind of. It was a very strange loop of the Brood music, but it was a very cool segment, and this is the kind of thing that you're supposed to do to build feuds. You don't always have to have matches. You do things and angles like this, and it extends it, and it makes it more interesting. And outside of that, there are okay matches for SummerSlam, but they didn't really do anything to get me excited for tomorrow night's SummerSlam Saturday. Why am I supposed to get excited? Because Bianca Belair beat Zelina Vega and Carmella back to back. She took care of Sasha Banks's two witnesses from the contract signing in less time than it takes me to tie my shoes. You know, it makes Bianca look good. I get it, but these are essentially two rematches for Bianca on the same show. Two back-to-back rematches all night long. All night long. All they can do is show, and besides the rematches, they gave us matches for everybody that has nothing to do for SmackDown on SummerSlam's card, on the SmackDown side of things. Guys like Otis, Big E, Kevin Owens, Shinsuke, Boogs, Apollo, all these guys got their moment tonight because they have absolutely nothing planned for them tomorrow night during SummerSlam. So let's just go up and down this piece of junk card. The Edge segment to start things off just proves everything that I say all the time about the old school. Edge's promo was fantastic. He told Seth Rollins that he's pushing him into a place so dark he doesn't know if he could ever come back from. He says, and now he doesn't just have to beat Seth Rollins, he has to break Seth Rollins. He has to humble him and burn him down. An absolutely fantastic promo to kick things off. It was his little retort to Seth Rollins' little blah blah from last week, but this wasn't the end of the night for Edge. As we already told you, he would show up again to deliver a bloodbath, not a brood bath, Pat McAfee, a blood bath. Then we go into rematch territory. Jey Uso defeated Rey Mysterio in a really long, pretty good, fast-paced matchup here, but the story that they're telling here continues to be really, really ridiculous. Dominic Mysterio and Rey seem to have some tension going on. They're kind of just not on the same page 100%. Rey Mysterio asking Dominic to have his back, do the right thing. He knows he's been hard on his giant baby man son, but Tiny Dad just needs him to stay focused and watch his back. And this is what he goes out there to do during this singles match. And then giant baby man son tries to cheat. That's right. The baby faces in the scenario, the Mysterios tried to cheat the Usos, which doesn't make sense. Dominic got caught. He got ejected, which led to something going on the outside, which ultimately led to Rey Mysterio being pinned by Jey Uso after a splash. 1, 2, 3. And that was the end of that. We then had to be reminded that Baron Corbin stole Big E's Money in the Bank briefcase. And how are we going to continue on with this story? Well, of course, we are going to do what WWE does best. We are going to do a rematch. And we are going to have Baron Corbin facing off against Kevin Owens once again. Not like we haven't seen this just last week. Absolutely ridiculous. And I don't understand why Big E waited for this match to go as long as it did to get out there and try to get his briefcase. Why isn't he hunting Baron Corbin down in the back, looking for him to whoop his ass and take his briefcase back? He did that during this match, but then he ended up being attacked by Baron Corbin again, and Baron Corbin would again leave the arena with the briefcase, leaving Big E laying outside the ring. He gets the win here because Big E attacked him, causing Kevin Owens to get disqualified. This whole segment took about 5 minutes, and it's just awful. It's just about as awful as WWE announcing Logan Paul is going to be the guest of Moist TV, John Morrison's Miz TV segment, Monday on Raw. One thing I hate talking about on Friday is anything that happens on Monday because it's all just garbage. Who cares? We had an interview in the back with Bianca Belair. Sasha Banks not here tonight, causing everybody in the community to have a shitstorm and say, oh, maybe this match isn't happening on Sunday because Sasha's got a little heat for not showing up to some live event. And everybody's saying, oh, this match probably isn't going to happen on Saturday. But according to tonight's episode of SmackDown, as of right now, as of this recording, it is. Sasha Banks Bianca Belair cut a promo on Sasha Banks, telling us that she's going to take it all out on Zelina Vega and Carmella tonight. And then we move on to a championship contenders match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship in the women's side of the equation. And we had Shotzi and Noxie, the team that disappeared for a couple of weeks, but, already beat the tag team champions. So wouldn't that have already qualified them for a tag team championship opportunity based off of WWE's own rules? But no, for some reason we had to have them beaten here again tonight. We also had Shotzi a week or two ago, however long ago it was, beat Tamina in a singles match. So Natty and Tamina as women's tag team champions have done nothing but lose, which is WWE's MO. And now we have Nox and Shots versus the tag team champions. I guess maybe going to be added to SummerSlam. Maybe it'll be on the pre-show. Who gives a shit? They've done nothing to make Tegan Nox and Shotzi Blackheart interesting. They took away their names. They gave them solo names. It's just awful. It's just awful. I don't really care for anything going on in the women's tag team division right now. As I'm got my eye on some really fantastic tag team action going on in the ring during Rampage. Jungle Boy going to town on one of my boys from Private Party, my buddy Mark Quinn, who kicked me in the face one night while we were training at House of Glory, even though he wasn't supposed to. But that's only because I'm so good at cutting promos. I made him so mad, he jacked my jaw and sent me to the mat. Super kick style. Great night. What a great night. And now I'm watching him in the ring beating up Jungle Boy. Fantastic stuff. This is much better than anything that we've had to see on SmackDown. We had the Seth Rollins segment up next where he came out to talk some shit about Edge and ended up getting his bloodbath, turning his entire body into a giant black lava monster. They didn't let it look like blood, I guess because they didn't want it to look like actual blood like they did back in the day when it was actually red. It was some kind of viscous, disgusting black glue that they said was blood. And Seth Rollins looked like a tar monster from Scooby-Doo. It was really, really great. It was a good callback with the Brood music, and Edge looked like a psychotic person when he hit the Titantron. It was really, really good, and that's not something we say often, and a great way to lead into a match that I think is probably going to be one of the most likely ones to steal the show tomorrow night at SummerSlam. Another rematch for you guys. Rematch alert. You know what? Screw it. I'm not going to hit the button. Otis from the Alpha Academy beat Montez Ford from the Street Profits in less than 3 minutes. Do you care? I don't. I don't know where this is going. This is just a never-ending feud where they just keep trading wins back and forth. Montez Ford still has one of the prettiest frog splashes on the roster, maybe in all of pro wrestling. The guy's got some serious ups. I'm really actually pretty high on both of these teams. I just don't see what direction either team is going in. And we got two established tag teams having a singles match here on SmackDown. And Otis would defeat Montez Ford. And then after this, we get two kind of makeshift tag teams. We get King Nakamura, and Rick Boogs defeating Apollo Crews and Commander Aziz. This match also went barely 3 minutes, was completely unnecessary. I have no idea what any of it means. How many times are we going to see Nakamura in the ring with Apollo Crews? Aziz doesn't look all that impressive in any of these outings. Rick Boogs actually came out looking like $1 million. The crowd, for some reason, was really into him and all of his antics. He's kind of just annoying to me. I think I just don't like that he's been packaged with Shinsuke. It's really, really kind of cringy. I do get a laugh when they celebrate with Pat McAfee as he was dancing on the announce table while Boogs played the guitar and Shinsuke pretended to play the guitar on the championship belt wearing the crown. It's funny. It gives me a laugh. But, when the Intercontinental Championship is on screen, I don't really want to be laughing. I want to be excited. I want to be enthralled. And none of those things happened during this tag team match. They barely had any time given to them to do anything, and it wasn't very interesting to begin with. Just like I wasn't very much interested in their decision to go with 2 rematches for Bianca Belair. She defeated Zelina Vega again in another match that I think barely went 3, maybe 4 minutes at best, and she quickly did away with Zelina Vega, and then after being jumped by Carmella, would quickly do away with her as well, beating both of these women in less than 10 minutes, showing the world just how little they actually mean to the WWE creative staff, because how can you get behind either one of these girls when all they have done is lose constantly? Zelina Vega, I don't even think has won a match since coming back. She hasn't been booked great. Carmella's never been booked great. I did notice that they did away with the weird shadow entrance, and I think maybe she's got different music, but they did revert back to the Mella is money shit. But I thought she did away with that and is now the most beautiful woman in the history of wrestling, or whatever bullshit lie she wants to tell to herself and the rest of the world. Anyway, Bianca Belair, victorious, of course, in back-to-back outings. And then we had the final segment, Roman Reigns and John Cena face-to-face again. But this was actually better than last week's. I think they had it a little bit more fine-tuned since they did take 1 7 days ago. Take 2 was complete with the 1, 2, 3 references from John Cena and Roman being the shit heel that he's likely to be to John Cena. And then I enjoyed where Cena went with his promo, and what he said was, you think I'm here to promote movies, but really what I'm here to do is demote your ass right to the face of the tribal chief. This whole face-to-face ended with a minor altercation where we seen Roman try to get John Cena, but Cena was quick enough to get behind him and roll him up and simulate the 1, 2, 3 seconds that he needs, that he continuously talks about in these promos. Well, that match too is going to be a really, really great one. I just wish it was booked a little bit better. I'm a little bit hyped for it based off of their war of words back and forth, but given a little bit more time and care, this could have really been blown into something much bigger than it's being portrayed. This is a huge match. It's a dream match. We've seen it before, but like Paul Heyman correctly said, nobody has beaten this version of Roman Reigns. John Cena has not been in the ring with this Roman Reigns, so it's not going to be the same outcome. And Roman Reigns did throw a wrench into things before they ended this thing, because right before they actually shook hands and had that altercation, Roman said that if he doesn't win and leave with the WWE Championship tomorrow night, that he will leave the WWE. Because he could go to Hollywood and be in movies if he wanted to, but he was willing to raise the stakes, and he took a gamble. And he wins tomorrow, or he leaves WWE, which only means that there's no chance John Cena ends up winning that match, unless it's by disqualification and Roman remains the champion. So that's all I got for you guys. As far as tonight's SmackDown is concerned, Rampage is still on the air. It still has 25 minutes to go. We are still in the middle of this match between the Jurassic Express and Private Party with Matt Hardy, who's deciding to get himself involved in the ring. He just threw that tiny baby man-child Marco Stunt around. We have, what is this? Oh, Private Party using the tights and the ropes for leverage, trying to cheat their way to victory. Jungle Boy barely kicked out. I love watching people that I've actually trained with and seen on the independent scene wrestling on the main stage. I'm just so proud of these two guys. They are really amazing. They don't get the credit that they deserve. I feel like at this point they should have been tag team champions a bunch of times. Of course, I'm talking about my friend's Private Party. They're falling into some trouble here as... Oh, what a maneuver! Wow! I don't know what they call that. But Luchasaurus just threw Mark Quinn into Jungle Boy, and they pulled off some crazy spinning power bomb thing. It was pretty awesome. Pretty good move. I love Jungle Boy, and I love Luchasaurus. I don't love Marco Stunt. Nothing personal. I just find him way less believable than anything else in all of pro wrestling. The Young Bucks standing on the stage. Obviously, Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy want their shot at the championships. We got Kenny Omega on screen, so I could talk about something else right now. Let's take a look at the chat room. Let's see what we're talking about here live. Let's talk to my friends here since we got some time and we're just going to be watching AEW from this point out. Nice to see you guys. Thank you all for coming out. No one cares about Suckdown tonight. I know, man. I know, but I got a job to do. You know, I advertised that this was also going to be the Everything Wrong with SmackDown show, and that's what I had to do. And I'm sorry that I had to subject you guys to the suctitude of SmackDown on a night where we should be rejoicing in the world of pro wrestling because we have the return of CM Punk. And apparently Darth Vader, who's making a cameo in the corner here by my shoulder in this screen. Thanks for coming, Darth. Nice to see you, as always. Of course, we are avid members of the dark side here at Sledgehammer TV. What else are we talking about here? Let's see. Jurassic Express wins. Yeah, we talked. Jade Cargill versus Kiera Hogan is going to be up next. Kiera Hogan working hard to put a little bit of respect back on that Hogan name. I dig Kiera Hogan. I really dig Jade Cargill. I think both of them are fantastic. They're both beautiful women, and they are talented pro wrestlers. Last week's outing for Jade Cargill was not so great. She had a couple of very noticeable, very huge botches. But if I had to choose between the two, I'm going to choose Jade Cargill every time. I'm just into her. I think she's got a great look. I think she should be fast-tracked to a championship opportunity. Maybe she should be the one to unseat Britt Baker. We got a lot of other talented females in and around AEW, from Thunder Rosa and everybody else on the roster included. I wouldn't mind seeing Jade Cargill run the gamut as the champion and till they find somebody worthy enough to take her down. Just if you take a look at her, she reminds me of like China, you know, like that type of a female where like she could probably beat the shit out of any man on that roster. She's just that impressive. Kira Hogan, from what I remember, is kind of smaller than Jade Cargill height-wise, so it's going to be a tough mountain for her to climb. It'll be interesting to see how much time they give this match, considering how much they've got on tap still with only about 20 minutes left in the show. And I think we still got 2, maybe 3 more matches that they advertised for tonight. CM Punk obviously taking a huge portion of the evening with his return and his opening salvo. But yeah, I'm into Jade as well. She's the one I'm going to pick to win as we get ready to see her face off here tonight. SmackDown. Let's show this one to the crowd. Yes, SmackDown was indeed whack. You can't be excited for anything. And I too was very excited. I'm sorry, very surprised. Not excited. I wasn't excited at all. I was very surprised at the fact that they are highlighting a roll-up as the way that John Cena might actually beat Roman Reigns. You know how they're dreading that roll-up. It's the most devastating thing to them, especially when you don't see it coming. It's just a really shitty way to book things. It's lazy. It's uninspired. They think somehow it protects the other talent because, oh, well, you know, it was a surprise. You know, they didn't see it coming. You know, it's not because they sucked. What? That's not true. We got a hype package right now for the ladies match we've been talking about. I don't like this guy that she's with. What's his name? Mark Sterling or whatever it is. These two don't mesh. I don't feel it. I don't feel it. He reminds me of like Robert Stone, and I hate that too. Like all of these guys that want to pretend to be rich. Oh, the Robert Stone brand and the Mark Sterling Esquire, and get the fuck out of here. It's only one guy that can do that gimmick and do it right, and that's the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. Jade Cargill coming out to say she looks great. She's got like a 12-pack of abs. She's insane. And I've always said from the first time I saw her, if Marvel were to ever cast a woman to play Storm in the upcoming X-Men reboot that they're going to do in the MCU, you don't have to look any further than this woman right here. I'm not sure if she's got the acting chops to pull it off, but keep her silent and just dress her up in the garb and you have the absolute perfect person to play Storm. And yes, this is true, D-Boy Q. She is a mom. This woman actually had a child. So the rest of you moms out there, you have no excuse. Right? If Jade Cargill can do it, anybody can. You just need to have the dedication that this woman apparently has, because she looks dynamite. No pun intended, even though we're not watching Dynamite tonight. We're watching Rampage live here on Sledgehammer TV. Thank you for joining us. If you've just joined us, we already covered the surprise debut of CM Punk. We already, unfortunately, had to talk about all the shit that happened tonight on SmackDown, which was your normal, regularly scheduled poop hammer kind of stuff. You guys know that. But we did sound the Punk alarm a couple of times at the start of this show. The most exciting thing in wrestling right now, the return of CM Punk to wrestling tonight. on Rampage. Wow, this match is over already. So much for that. For those of you that were hoping for a competitive match and for a good showing from Kiera Hogan, she was just fed to Jade Cargill. Again, I think a lot of this might have to do with maybe Punk possibly running long at the start of the show. But this didn't have much time at all. Jade looking impressive as ever, but unfortunate for Kiera Hogan tonight. I don't know why, but for some reason I just thought that Jade Cargill kind of looked like an African American Maurice. Maybe it's just the hair color. I don't know. Maybe it's just I'm going delirious from being live already for 53 minutes, and we still have a nice portion of this show to get through. 15 minutes to go in AEW Rampage. 2 matches to go, I believe. Maybe 1, I hope. Maybe it's just... I don't even remember what they announced at the show. My mind has gone blank. We're getting some advertisements for AEW Dynamite. The Varsity Blondes taking on the Lucha Brothers. Red Velvet will be taking on Jamie Hayter. I like Red Velvet too. Red Velvet's really good. I don't know Jamie Hayter. Everybody made a big deal about her, but I'm not really that familiar with her. Orange Cassidy versus Matt Hardy. Malachi Black versus Baby Arn Brock Anderson. That should be a good match. Maybe not. Probably going to be a squash match from Malachi Black. Oh my goodness. I love seeing the next generation of guys come up. Oh, okay. The winner of that Varsity Blondes tag team match on Dynamite is going to go on to face the Jurassic Express in the finals of this tournament. I haven't seen Arn Anderson's son in the ring yet because I don't watch AEW religiously. I will be doing so from now on, simply for the arrival of CM Punk. I'm that much of a mark for this one man that it's going to make me watch. It's not going to make me love everything about the show, so if I end up doing reviews, you AEW guys gotta take it easy on me and just learn to take some criticism with a pinch of salt, because we call it like it is. You guys know. I don't know who you're referencing when you ask me, can she really go? If you're talking about Jade Cargill, yes, she can really go. She can also have an off night just like everybody else. And Kiera Hogan, I would love to see if she could actually go. I've seen her have better matches than tonight, but man, I don't know. Jon Moxley is pissed. Still crazy to me to see Mark Henry on this show. Jon Moxley is going to take on Daniel Garcia. He looks like he's going to rip his head off. Eddie Kingston will be in his corner. And 2.0, Nasty Boy knockoff vests on tonight. They'll be in the corner of Danny Garcia. I have to get much more familiar with some of these other guys. I mean, I'm going to turn to you guys to tell me if they're any good or not right now. But I actually have very little interest in the main event of this Rampage show. I guess it'll be fun to see Jon Moxley. I guess. Eddie Kingston's great. Maybe he'll get on the mic and say something entertaining. But other than that, I really don't have an investment in this because I don't know what's going on. I don't care. I tuned in tonight like a casual mark just to see if the rumors were true. And it would have been really, really messed up if he didn't show up tonight, right? Imagine we just watched an episode of AEW Rampage and CM Punk didn't show and Daniel Bryan didn't show and it was just something like that. Would have been interesting. but it wouldn't have been funny. And I would have laughed, though. It wouldn't have been funny, but I would have laughed my ass off. Because everybody would have been up in arms, everybody would have been all upset, but now we can all get excited. And hey, Ollie Davis can actually go CM Punk to AEW confirmed. Good for you, Ollie. He's been waiting so long to do it. I feel good for him. I feel good for him. Let him know that we love him and that we feel good for him. Congratulations, bro. You earned it. You earned it. Say it with some gusto. That being said, I think we're going to wrap this up early because I really don't care about this final match. We all tuned in to see and hear what we came to see and hear, and that was the return of CM Punk. I don't think I've said CM Punk's name so many times in the span of 1 hour, maybe ever, even when I was flipping out over him back in his heyday. That's probably because I didn't have a show like this with awesome fans like you guys. Thank you guys all so much for coming out tonight. I want you guys to enjoy the rest of the show. If you're watching Rampage at home, I'm going to bow out. This was a lot of fun. I love doing these live things with you guys. Thank you for interacting in the comments below. Thank you for lighting up the chat room tonight. It's always great to see what you guys have to say. Thank you for coming out. Maybe we'll be doing these streams more and more. They're a lot more efficient. It takes up a lot less time, to post and all that stuff. But thank you for coming out and experiencing history with me here tonight. I had my wrestling friends, my wrestling family, my sledgeheads of Sledge Nation with me for the return of CM Punk, and I couldn't have asked for a better way to spend this night. You all know the name and the game, but I have to do the routine because that's how we roll. My name is Nick Nightmare. This is the team Thor, the Sledgehammer, the official Sledgehammer, the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, his tag team partner, the World Heavyweight Champion of all the microphones in all the world, Mr. Blue, the Yeti microphone, but the most important member of the team, as always, each and every one of you. If you're not already a Sledgehead of Sledge Nation, hit that subscribe button right now. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing when we drop a video here on Sledgehammer TV. And don't forget to check out our new sponsor that we picked up, BarkBox. You could scan this QR code. It'll bring you right to the page to get more information, or you could check the link in the description below. And if you act quickly enough, you might be able to get the WWE themed box that was available for August. There's no guarantee that you will get it unless you go and do it right away. So that is an exclusive offer right here for you guys from Sledgehammer TV. Get your BarkBox right now. Get your BarkBox right now and make your fuzzy little wrestling fan at home a happy puppy today. Thank you all again for coming out tonight. We will see you tomorrow for the SummerSlam review and reaction show. If you missed our preview of SummerSlam, that will be available on the homepage and linked in the annotations up above after this video goes off the air. Thank you so much. That is going to do it. We are out of here, and we will see you next time right here on your new favorite wrestling show, the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, only on Sledgehammer TV, right here on YouTube.com. And I cannot believe that he's actually back. We'll have to see the impact of it as time goes on. Have a good night, and we will see you for SummerSlam tomorrow.